Interconference matchup here today. The Jets and the Washington Redskins, 54 degrees in Landover, Maryland. Wind, not an issue. Beautiful day for football. Rex Ryan's team, 16-11 on the road since Rex took over 3 years ago, taking on a Washington squad that's 4-7 this season. Mike Shanahan now in his 18th year as a head coach in the NFL, second year with Washington. And this team got the 23-17 win in Seattle last week, scoring 16 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. Jets have won the toss. They've deferred to the second half, so the Jets will kick off with Nick Folk. Neither one of these teams has scored well in the first quarter. 33 first quarter points for the Jets this season. Washington is worse, 22 points in the opening quarter for the Redskins.
Yeah, we'll see how both teams react to that type of statistic, but defensively they have been outstanding if you look at it that way.
Brandon Banks, the deep man. We are underway from FedEx Field. Returnable for Banks. Crosses the 15-yard line and then stood up there shy of the 20. Garrett McIntyre making the play on special teams. Rex Grossman, he's got the starting job back, and he is 4-4 as a starter this season for Washington.
And he told us yesterday that he did notice Darrelle Revis getting challenged quite a bit last week against Buffalo. He's not afraid to throw in Revis's direction. He respects him a great deal, but he knows that his margin of error throwing in that direction is tiny.
Turnovers for Rex Grossman in 13 straight games. Chad Henne has the longest active streak, and he's been injured. 17 straight for Henne, quarterback of the Dolphins, on IR. And a pitch, Halou. Great cut by Halou, and he's spun down across the 30-yard line. It's a first down run of 14 yards. Chris Chester with the block on that right side. As we take a look at the starting offense for Washington, Chester's the only player on the offensive line that has started in the same position every game this season, so they've had to do some mixing and matching this year on the O-line. Backs and receivers, Davis has emerged as the go-to guy on offense in the absence of Chris Cooley on IR with a knee injury. Davis putting up career numbers, leading receiver with 53 catches, 697 yards from the tight end spot. First and 10 for Washington, double tight end set. Halou again, this time trying to get to the outside. And Halou able to break a tackle. Should have been a loss on the play. McIntyre could not wrap him up, and Halou turns it into a 3-yard gain. The Jets come in with the number 8 ranked defense in the NFL. Take a look at their starters, and it is Kenrick Ellis getting an opportunity here for the injured Mike DeVito out with a left knee injury. Ellis makes his second start, the rookie out of Hampton. Linebackers, McIntyre gets the start, but expect to see a lot of Aaron Maven at that outside linebacker position. And in the secondary, an off day by Revis's standards last week in that game against Buffalo, where Stevie Johnson did get the touchdown on Revis, the first one that Revis has given up this season. Second and 7, Grossman setting up the screen. Halou accelerating, and Halou staying on his feet. He's got a first down. The rookie out of Nebraska, 4th-round draft pick. He's got good speed, and the scouting report, he will break arm tackles. That's an 8-yard catch and run for Halou.
Yeah, really sloppy tackling by the Jets on this opening drive. Halou with a couple of carries, and now on just a simple screen pass, good cut right there to get inside and up the field. Wilkerson could not bring him down, and the Redskins, very impressive to start this drive with a lot of help from poor tackling by the Jets. 14
catches for Halou a couple of weeks ago against San Francisco. Evan Royster is now in, a rookie out of Penn State. Grossman to throw it off play action. Grossman airing it out. Wide open, Fred Davis down the sideline, and Davis is hit by Cromartie. Big gainer for Washington. It covers 42 yards.
Longest catch of the year for Fred Davis. And it comes off the play action pass. Here's Davis. He's going to go down into the corner. But as Grossman, after the fake to Halou, you just won't find anybody, especially a tight end that wide open, so far down the field. Got in behind the linebacker there, David Harris, and Redskins are in business in the red zone already.
Yeah, Grossman, we asked him about Davis. He said he's a tremendous athlete, strong, fast, he's getting his chance. If he doesn't have a big game, we don't win, said Rex Grossman. On the toss, Halou slicing. Brought down at the 5, a 9-yard pickup. Paulson, the tight end, with a good block. And Chester Again on that right side, creating space for Halou. Well, the Jets, the tendency has been allowing the opponent to score first. 9 times this season, the Jets have allowed the opposing team to get on the board first. That leads the NFL.
And if they don't start tackling Roy Halou better than this, it's going to be it'll be an even 10.
2nd and 1 now for Washington. Threatening here on the opening drive. Just underway. Halou gets the toss. He's got a first down, 1st and goal after the 3-yard pickup. Sione Boua will get credit for the stop for the Jets.
But you notice how Halou at the end of this play, as he cuts up the field, he gets low. He lowers his pad level and actually gets underneath Boua. We talked about how many tackles he breaks. Smart runner, the second fastest rookie to come into the league behind DeMarco Murray as far as Mike Shanahan was concerned.
This drive started at the Washington 18. 1st and goal for Washington. Fake the handoff. Grossman deep drop. Grossman throws it up in the air. And a little too high for Niles Paul. Another rookie out of Nebraska. He got his hand on it, but it's incomplete.
That was really good coverage in the back of the end zone. Brodney Poole just made sure that Niles Paul could not get clear. Here he chases him down, makes sure that if he does come down with the ball, he is well out of bounds. Good coverage by Poole.
Jets defense getting tested early here. 2nd and goal. On the pitch, Halou zigzags, battles his way in for the touchdown. Redskins on the board first. And the rookie Halou looking strong on the opening drive.
Yeah, he gets in behind his fullback, Mike Sellers. Gets a good block from tight end Logan Paulson. Watch Sellers come here. Watch the block here by Paulson. And again, notice how Halou dips his shoulders right there to get inside of Rapati Petoitua and into the end zone.
Halou had 108 yards on the ground, his first NFL touchdown last week, picking up where he left off against Seattle. 8 plays, 82 yards. Extra point is good from Gano. The Redskins just made it look easy. Halou had eyes for the end zone. 7-0, Washington. Only Cleveland and Indianapolis have scored less points in the first quarter than the Washington Redskins, but boy, what a statement to open up. Long drive, 7-0 Redskins. Halou gets the touchdown, 40 total yards, and the big play, Grossman to Davis, 42 yards through the air. Graham Gano will kick it off. Joe McKnight is leading the NFL in kickoff return yardage, 34.7. And McKnight's going to get an opportunity. Short kick from the 11, and McKnight is stacked up out across the 25-yard line by Mike Sellers on special teams. Mark Sanchez, career high 4 touchdowns last week in the win over Buffalo.
Offense coordinator Brian Schottenheimer told me the Jets' game plan today will emphasize taking advantage of Sanchez's ability to move out of the pocket, throw on the run, both to his left and to the right. Also, we can look for a number of screen passes early in the game to LaDainian Tomlinson to take advantage of his fresh legs and his knack for making big plays in open spaces.
Jets are 1-4 on the road this season. Last year, they were 8-3 on the road, including the postseason. Give is to Sean Green. And not a whole lot there. 2.5 yards as Stephen Bowen makes the stop for Washington. Starting lineup for the Jets. How will Wayne Hunter hold up, the starting right tackle, with the pressure of Kerrigan and Arakpo today for Washington? Backs and receivers, Dustin Keller. Huge day last week in that victory over Buffalo. Keller was the go-to guy. 4 catches, 61 yards, 2 touchdowns. He leads the team in receptions and receiving yards, one of 5 tight ends to lead their team in both categories. Sanchez sets up as a receiver. It's a wildcat. Sean Green. And the Redskins ready for it as Green tried to go outside for a gain of 3. Perry Riley, the second-year linebacker from LSU, making the stop. Defensively for Washington, young group, good signing. Barry Cofield, formerly of the Giants, signed to a 5-year, $36 million deal. That's paid off for Washington. We've talked about Kerrigan, the impact he's had, the number 16 pick overall. And in the secondary, no LaRon Landry today because of a groin injury, so Reed Doughty gets the start at safety. Jets trying to avoid a 3-and-out. This is a 3rd and 4. Tomlinson is in the game. 4 receivers set. Sanchez, pressure coming. Sanchez throws to Holmes. Santonio Holmes with a catch in 5 yards, a first down. Josh Wilson there to make sure that Holmes was down. They'll move the chains.
And one of the reasons LaDainian Tomlinson in the game on 3rd downs, obviously he's a...
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 59, penalties time, result of the play, 1st and 10, New York.
John Carey, our referee here today.
Yeah, Tomlinson's such an outstanding receiver out of the backfield, but that time he did a good job at picking up the blitzing cornerback from that side. Allowed Sanchez just enough time to find Holmes for the first down.
His average touches per game way down this season, 8 per game. But the idea is that he does have fresh legs here after missing a couple of games with that knee injury. Moving pocket, Sanchez guns for Holmes, and he's got the angle. And a new set of downs for the Jets. They pick up 11. So Santonio Holmes getting involved in the offense early.
Yeah, 2 catches in a row. That was a fastball by Sanchez. But again, it's Sanchez moving out of the pocket, getting away from this pass rush. Redskins come into the game with 33 sacks on the year. That's 3rd most in the NFL. And Sanchez does throw well when he's on the move.
Well, Sanchez right now is on the sideline. So the Jets go into their bag of tricks here. And Jeremy Curley will take the snap. The wide receiver out of TCU. They'll run the option. On a pitch, Nick Knight. So the Jets getting cute here in the first quarter, and Perry Riley read it perfectly for Washington.
Curley is no Tim Tebow. He comes down the line of scrimmage, and here comes the pitch man, Sean Green. Really, Curley does not really force this issue. Gets the pitch outside, but really well played by Arakpo to force the pitch and then stop the short gain. Actually, a loss of a yard by
So Joe McKnight loses a yard on the play. Brian Schottenheimer, his 6th year, calling the plays for the Jets on offense. 2nd and 11. Sanchez set up the screen. Tomlinson squeezes through, and Tomlinson has got a first down. He's dragged down from behind by Oshimago Atagwe.
And he was horse collar tackled, and he hurt his left leg. Atagwe does not get flagged for the penalty, but he was dragged. Tomlinson was dragged down from behind. And what a huge blow. You could see the freshness of Tomlinson as he got through the initial wave of defenders and burst down the sidelines, went out of bounds, and was tackled by the jersey.
Injury to Tomlinson as we step aside.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Sprint. All football, no limits. Only from Sprint. And by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
Back at FedEx Field, 10 miles northeast of Washington, D.C. Tomlinson was able to walk off on his own power. They're checking him out along the Jets sideline on a first down. Handoff to Sean Green running off tackle, and Green picks up 4. London Fletcher with a stop for Washington.
Well, this is a legal tackle by Oshimago Atagwe. He's just reaching for cloth. Anything he can get. Gets the back of the jersey, not around the collar. So no penalty, but could be a devastating loss for the Jets if Tomlinson cannot go. He's going to be a big part of this game plan today.
Literally 2 plays for LaDainian Tomlinson, and the injury occurs. Shotgun formation. Sanchez throws complete. Plexico Burris has got a first down just short of the 25-yard line. That's a 7-yard pickup. Well, the sprained left MCL took place in the 4th quarter against the New England Patriots, Week 10. He missed the last 2 games, injured that same knee going back to the 2007 playoffs. Tomlinson now in his 11th year in the NFL, a future Hall of Famer. And they're stretching him out. They're checking out that left leg right now. So Sean Green remains in at tailback under 6 minutes to go in this first quarter. Washington with a 7-0 lead. Green gets the call. Stutter step move and Green slicing through. 7-yard pickup for Green. Jets continue to move the football here, answering that opening drive by Washington.
Sean Green battling that rib injury. Coaches feel that he's over it for the most part. And they need him, especially now if Tomlinson cannot go.
Jets have been the second best red zone team in terms of touchdown rate in the league this season. 66% of the time in the red zone, they get touchdowns. At second to Tennessee. 10th play of the drive. Green gets wrestled down by Kerrigan. It's a 1-yard gain and sets up third down. Plexico Burress, such an important target for Mark Sanchez, and he's part of our Fouts focus.
Yeah, he presents that tremendous mismatch each week for opposing cornerbacks. 6'5" with an expansive wingspan. Burress gives Mark Sanchez a rather large target. When you combine all that with a better than 3-foot vertical and the ability to catch the ball with one hand, look for Burress to challenge the 5'10" D'Angelo Hall and the 5'9" Josh Wilson, especially in the red zone today, although he's not in the lineup now.
Again, Sanchez sets up his receiver. Direct snap. Sean Green fighting for extra yardage. It's very close. Green trying to push that pile right to the line. Stephen Bowen making the tackle for Washington. And the third Wildcat that we've seen. That was not a great spot for the Jets.
No, but it looks like Rex Ryan likes the momentum that his team has on this opening drive. The way that offensive line is working. Matt Slauson had a good block on that play, pulling from his left guard spot, so he's going to go for it on 4th and 1.
Jumbo formation here with Keller, Mulligan, and Vladimir Dukas, the second-year offensive lineman from UMass, is in. Tight formation on a 4th and 1. Sanchez give to the first man through, John Connor. And forward progress should be enough. Chris Neal, the rookie out of West Virginia, was trying to force him backwards.
That's close enough to bring out the chains.
So they'll take a look on 4th down.
Connor goes 245, but it's the low man that's going to win. You see, as Josh Wilson got in there to stop him initially, and then because of how high Connor hit that hole, he just got the first down.
So this drive remains alive for Rex Ryan's team. 3:33 to play in the first quarter. The Redskins with a 7-0 lead. Thirteenth play of the drive. Had the emotional win over Buffalo last week. Mark Sanchez saying it was great for the team, but you can't win like that every week. Something they talked about during practice. They did adjust to the pressure, though, in the fourth quarter and executed their offense. Green in the backfield from the gun, Sanchez. Flags down. Sanchez throws too high for Plexico Burress. Penalty marker on the play.
Offside. Defense. Number 98. 5-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
And it's Arakpo trying to get the jump.
And Sanchez did the right thing. Just fired the ball to his wide receiver. Watch the jump here by Arakpo. Trying to get it the edge there on DeBrickashaw Ferguson.
Arakpo, 13th pick overall in 2009. Plexico Burress just asked out of the game. He's now on the Jets sideline. Normally would be a weapon here in the red zone. Sanchez on a give. Sean Green running inside, and Reed Doughty, first man there to limit him to a gain of 2. So now Burress, it's coming back in. Nothing serious for Plexico.
That was really a great blitz by Reed Doughty. His timing was perfect to find a hole in the offensive line and get Green before he gets started.
Burress, who had a touchdown last week, also had a one-handed catch on that fourth quarter touchdown drive that turned out to be the game winner. 15 tickets for this game, family and friends in the D.C. area, and some that came up from Virginia Beach. Sanchez is 4 of 4, 39 yards opening drive. 2nd and 3 for the Jets. Sanchez, tip ball, incomplete. First incompletion, Barry Cofield over there defensively. Washington able to get in the face of Mark Sanchez.
Yeah, heck of an effort by Cofield. As he was working against Brandon Moore, he spun to the inside. Check out this move right here as he comes to the inside and gets his hand up. Cofield, a very intelligent player. He now has 7 passes defensed. Eyes the quarterback, knows when to get his hands up to block the pass.
He is leading the NFL in that category. Tip passes. 3rd and 3 for the Jets. Sanchez smokes one to Plexico Burress. It'll be 1st and goal from the 1. A Tagway there defensively. And Sanchez on target with a low throw for Burress to make sure he was the only one that could handle it.
Well, it's really a dilemma for a defensive back because of the size of Burress. So often you see Sanchez throw him the fade. Well, the corner has to respect that. That opened up the slant route that time.
1st and goal, extra offensive lineman Dupas. 1st down, run to Green, and he has stood up. Sean Green, 2nd effort wasn't enough. London Fletcher, how many tackles has he made like that over the course of his 14-year career?
Well, this is again just London Fletcher doing what he's always done. This is his 220th game. What a streak he's put together. Making plays like that.
This drive is approaching 9 minutes of elapsed time. 2nd and goal for the Jets. Handoff, Green diving for the end zone. He's in. Touchdown, Jets. The Jets get the equalizer. 2 long drives, 1 from each team to open up this first quarter. 17 plays, 74 yards for the Jets.
And just his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year, but watch Green go low right here and gets underneath the defender coming over the top. Fletcher, it's not easy to get lower than the 5'10" Fletcher, but Sean Green did that time for the touchdown. What an impressive drive for both teams to start this game. Didn't you say they had trouble scoring in the first quarter?
Forget about the stats, Dan. You're not a numbers guy. Nick Folk on for the extra point. I do all this preparation and it means nothing.
I listen to you, buddy.
Thanks.
Sorry.
7-all, Jets and Redskins. More first quarter action coming up. Aerial coverage of today's game being provided by MetLife here from FedEx Field, which opened back in 1997, the 2nd largest venue in the NFL behind MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. 17-play drive. That's the longest drive in terms of plays the Jets have had this year. It went 74 yards. Sanchez was sharp, 5 of 6, had some quality throws. LaDainian Tomlinson injured on that drive. A left knee injury. His return is being listed as questionable for the Jets. We're tied at 7, 1:15 to go in this first quarter. Folk kicking off to Brandon Banks, averaging 23.3 yards per return. Banks will take it out of the end zone for the Redskins. Little flip. Now coming the other way for Washington. Anthony Armstrong, and spun down. Out across the 30-yard line. Pretty good field position after the 36-yard combined return. Eric Smith making the play on special team. All tied up in Landover.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. And by the 2011 Ford F-150. Built Ford tough.
Redskins 4-9 at home since the start of last season. Only Miami and Carolina are worse. It's not from a lack of fan support. Another sellout here at FedEx Field, which holds 82,000. First down for Washington. After the kickoff, Halou, who's been on that sideline for a while, following the Jets' long drive. 2-yard gain up the middle. Ellis combining with Patoi Tua to bring down Halou. NFC playoff picture. Green Bay looking to stay perfect at 11-0. You see the wild card numbers with Chicago and Atlanta. Detroit in the hunt. Giants still alive, although they have not played good football of late, but they're going to have their opportunities with Dallas on the schedule twice. Donald Strickland in as a nickel back now for the Jets. 2nd and 8. Motion man is Jabbar Gaffney. fake the handoff. Grossman, he's got plenty of time. Deep drop. Then Grossman throws it away as Maben brought the heat on Rex Grossman.
Looked like he was intentionally grounding that ball, but Fred Davis was blocking against Aaron Maben and was in the area, and Grossman wisely threw it to his feet for the incompletion. Here's Fred Davis. Maben coming, number 51 right there. That's a good idea. Get rid of that ball before the fleet-footed Maben can get to you.
Rodney Poole now on as another defensive back. That's the dime package here for the Jets on a 3rd and 8, working from the gun. They handle the pressure. Grossman lets it fly. In stride, Santana Moss, the former Jet, hit by Jim Leonard. He's a big play threat. The shifty wide receiver gets 21 on the pass play.
Yeah, and Grossman just loves having him back. He's got great quickness. Look at how he gets in and out of his break right there. Football intelligence. He makes good decisions, and he's still got that explosive ability to get deep.
End of the first quarter. Jets and Redskins tied at 7. The NFL on CBS. Start of the second quarter in Landover, Maryland. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, the rest of our crew. Producer Bob Monsbach, director Suzanne Smith, associate directors Jonathan Siegel, John Morales, broadcast associate Steve Murphy. Tied at 7. Jets and Redskins. Washington with a 1st and 10 after the catch by Moss. Double tight end set. Davis and Paulson. Give is to Halou, and he is stacked up as he crosses the 40-yard line. That's a pickup of 4. David Harris, who's been a tackling machine, makes the stop. Got a sports fan on your list? CBSSports.com shop has officially licensed NFL gear and 3-day shipping on every order at shop.cbssports.com.
Time to do some Christmas shopping.
You going to dial it up during the break?
Absolutely. I'm online right now.
Multitasker, Dan Fouts. 2nd and 6. Halou has 38 yards on the ground and a touchdown. Pitch for Halou. Look at him go. Roy Halou tripped up Eric Smith down there defensively, but Halou exploded to the second level and a 22-yard rip.
Well, we talked about his speed and his explosiveness. Paulson with a real good job on McIntyre there, and a touchdown saving tackle there perhaps by Smith as he dives out to get the ankle of Halou. But we're seeing the entire package from Halou. Power and speed.
And he had a major highlight last week with the hurdle against Seattle. Halou in a crowd and nothing there. No gain on the play. Calvin Pace over there defensively to slow down Halou.
Well, on the opening drive, it was mostly Roy Halou. He had 5 carries for 32 yards, including the 16-yarder to start the ball game. 1 catch for 8 yards, and Fred Davis got the big 42-yarder that got the Redskins in the own end. And then 2 touchdowns in the last 2 drives to end the game last week against Seattle. And Halou goes in the end zone on the first drive today.
Halou became the 17th player under Mike Shanahan to rush for over 100 yards last week. Don Shula had 20 in his career. Pass for Santana Moss, and did not have room to work with out there as Wilkerson and Bart Scott were able to make the play. Santana Moss on his previous catch did pass Hall of Famer Bobby Mitchell for 4th on the Redskins all-time receiving yardage list.
Old number 49, was he ever a great one? That was a fine play by Kyle Wilson, the corner on that side, as he got right in the face of Santana Moss and allowed the linebackers to clean him up.
Play calling from Kyle Shanahan has been toss sweep left, toss sweep right. Now a passing situation on a 3rd and 11. Not a lot of pressure on Grossman. Dump off, low throw, handled, and Royster is tackled immediately. Calvin Pace, 3-yard gain for Royster, and the field goal unit will come on for Washington.
Well, the defense after that fine run by Halou stiffens for the Jets, forced this field goal attempt.
And this has been a problem for Washington. They had a field goal and an extra point block last week in that win over Seattle. This will be a 33-yard attempt. You see the numbers on Gano this year. 17 of 26. 65%, that's worst in the NFL. Trying to take the lead. Gano knocks it through. 10-7 Redskins. 11:32 to play. First half. Washington up by 3. 33-yard field goal for Gano. A 9-play, 51-yard drive for the Washington Redskins. And a 10-7 lead now for Washington. Still early stages of the second quarter. This is a Washington team that has turned the ball over 25 straight games. That is the longest active streak in the NFL, but no major mistakes to speak of on offense so far. McKnight from the goal line. Take it out of the corner and gets brought down short of the 10-yard line by Byron Westbrook. Important game here in December for the New York Jets and their playoff hopes. They trail the Redskins 10-7, second quarter. Jets are pinned deep in their own territory to open this drive. First and 10 from the 8-yard line in a 3-receiver set. Everything stacked up to the top of your screen. Running play for Green. Tripped. Looks like he made contact with Keller. It's a loss of 2 on the play.
Let's go back to the kickoff. This is a great kickoff by Graham Gano, but a mistake down here by McKnight. Look where his wedge is. When he catches the ball, he should just let this ball go into the end zone and take it at the 20. But he catches the ball, the wedge is gone and nothing there but Redskin tacklers inside the 10, and now a 2-yard loss, and the Jets are moving backwards.
Second and 12 for the Jets. Tomlinson out with a left knee injury. Sean Green playing with injured ribs. And Ryan Kerrigan among that group for Washington defensively to limit Green to a 1-yard gain. So Tomlinson does have the helmet on.
And he's got his chin strap buckled. That's a great sign. He's anticipating getting the call to go back in the game.
6 defensive backs now for Washington as Kevin Barnes comes on along with Dejon Gomes, rookie out of Nebraska. Third and 11. Play fake. Set it up for Mulligan. Brought down well short of the first down. Gomes makes the play, and Gomes is down after making that tackle. A 5-yard pickup through the air. He's grabbing his right knee. Dejon Gomes, a safety who played some linebacker at Nebraska, injured on the stop.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Autotrader.com. Now compare new and used cars side by side at Autotrader.com. And by the Droid Razor by Motorola. Droid strong, razor sharp.
Back here in the D.C. area, White House Christmas tree on display. And the Jets down by 3 to the Washington Redskins. Forced to punt. T.J. Conley coming off his best game from last week in his first year from Idaho, and Washington will have it at the 48-yard line. Banks with a fair catch and a penalty marker down. Thrown 2 of them back at the 8-yard line and the 13-yard line. A 39-yard punt. John Perry.
Kick, holding, return team, number 50, 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick.
Rob Jackson called on the hold, so back it up 10 yards for the Redskins. 10-7 Washington leading the Jets. Second quarter action rolls on. Introducing NFL Magazine, the new official monthly magazine of the National Football League. Subscribe today at NFL.com/magazine.
And who else would be on the first cover?
Who was that man?
Talk about Tim Tebow.
First and 10. Grossman unloads with the rush coming. Caught Hauled in by Davis. Oh, what a connection. Grossman under pressure, and he squeezed it in with Smith and Leonard, the safeties, surrounding the tight end.
Yeah, but was he in bounds? That's the question.
No.
I don't think so. He got his right foot in. His left foot was on the boundary.
Washington trying to
And
rush.
there's the flag. Ryan just got it out in time, the challenge flag.
Oh, the timing's so critical as Ryan gets word from his assistant coaches in the booth.
Fantastic catch by Fred Davis, but could not keep both feet in bounds.
Snap. New York has challenged the previous play of an incomplete catch or an incomplete. We'll review the play.
Well, no matter how you slice it, this is incomplete. Right foot is in, left foot about a foot out of bounds.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Sears. And by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
After reviewing the play, it's an incomplete pass. The receiver only got 1 foot inbounds with control of the ball. The ball will be respotted on the left hash, 39-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 9:27, and the clock will start on the snap due to the incomplete pass. New York is not charged with a timeout.
Pretty clear cut for John Perry and a detailed explanation.
Yeah, I thought it was just an incomplete pass. But this gives you an idea about Rex Grossman, though, huh? With both Leonard and Smith right there with Fred Davis, he throws a perfect pass. And a great effort by Davis.
So instead of having it 1st and 10 at the Jets 34, now it's 2nd and 10 at the Washington 39. 27-yard pass play is reversed. Halou dragging a tackler with him for a 3-yard gain as Sione Boua got him from behind. JB standing by in New York with Boomer Esiason.
A Mendenhall kind of day. Well, it's the second touchdown of the day after a long pass interference call against the Bengals. The Bengals fumbled the ensuing kickoff, and now the Steelers are ready to rout. 14-0 right now, Steelers over the Bengals.
All right, back to Dan.
And that's a game that has a lot of meaning to the Jets considering where they currently stand. 1 game behind Cincinnati in the AFC wildcard race. Grossman throws, intercepted, picked off by Brodney Poole. Flag is down for Rex Grossman. 14th straight game with a turnover.
Yeah, he was totally off balance, throwing off his back foot, trying to get it to his tight end down the middle of the field.
But nobody is moving right now.
To the pass being thrown. Illegal contact. Defense. And the 5-yard penalty from the previous spot on an automatic first down.
Donald Strickland called on an illegal contact. So the turnover doesn't happen.
Here's Strickland, and that is Fred Davis there. Costly hold right there as Davis goes by. Not a whole lot of a hold. You can see how far that ball was overthrown by Grossman.
So it certainly disrupted the route. And it just negated the pick. Grossman throws, incomplete. Santana Moss unable to bring it in cleanly. Cromartie there defensively for the Jets.
Good job by Grossman stepping up in the pocket. Calvin Pace was coming on the pass rush. Cromartie had just perfect coverage on Moss. But that was, you see a lot of holding in the secondary. Illegal contact. I didn't see a whole lot of holding there.
2nd and 10 for Washington. 8:31 to play first half. Redskins with a 3-point lead on the Jets. Halou in the backfield. He's gotten off to a great start in this first half. Grossman looks, throws, incomplete. Fred Davis, the intended receiver. Another update from New York, JB and Boomer.
I think Chris Johnson has his legs back, Boomer.
Yes, he does. 4-yard TD run right up the middle. 7 attempts, 90 yards on the day thus far. Tennessee up 17-7 over the Buffalo Bills. Start of the second quarter.
Back to Landover, Ian and Dan.
All right, guys, thanks very much. This is where the teams stack up in the AFC wildcard race. Denver, Tennessee, the Jets all at 6-5. 3rd and 10. Grossman handles the snap. Out of the gun, Grossman fires. Nobody home. In the direction of David Anderson, the former Houston Texan. And the Redskins will punt for the first time today.
Interesting play selections for Kyle Shanahan. 3 straight passes and 3 poor throws by Rex Grossman. Now this snap a little bit slow for Grossman, but as he steps up in the pocket, it looks like he got bumped just a little bit. Now we got roughing the punter.
Sam Rocca got hit. Curley there with a fair catch, and Rocca is down. Flag thrown at the 39-yard line.
They're going to call it running into the punter. Rocca trying to sell 10 more yards on that penalty, hoping for the roughing. He is limping a bit on that left leg.
The former Australian rules football star. Played for the Collingwood Magpies and the North Melbourne Kangaroos. I did a couple of their games back in the 90s. So Josh Perry trying to get the word from the Washington sideline.
Running into the kicker, number 50 of the return team.
So it's Garrett McIntyre called on running into the kicker.
And Shanahan is still trying to decide whether he wants to take the penalty or let the punt stand.
So the penalty will be declined. You're talking about a 5-yard penalty. It's not an automatic first down. And Rocca is incapable of going out there to punt right now after the hit. We'll step aside.
Well, this is a bad call by John Perry, our referee on the day. In the circle is Garrett McIntyre. And Sav Rocca is totally defenseless, totally off balance. That is not running into, that is roughing the punter right to the knee. I mean, if you're protecting quarterbacks going low with a 15-yard penalty, that's only a 5-yard penalty. That's a bad call by Perry.
So the Jets catch a break, and then Mike Shanahan had to make a quick decision. He didn't have his punter available to send him back out onto the field to repunt. He's got the Jets deep in their own territory, so they decide after the 5-yard penalty, don't take it. Turn it down. The Jets take over 1st and 10 at the 16. Sanchez to throw. In stride, he's got Sean Green. And Green is buried just short of the 25 by Wilson and Riley. 8-yard gain. Tonight on 60 Minutes, Michael Bublé's got the #1 Christmas album in the country and an inspiring success story to go along with it. To get a preview right now, simply call *60. That's *60 from your mobile phone. Sanchez is 7 of 8. Big question coming into this game. How would the Jets handle the pressure from Washington? So far, so good for New York on the offensive line. Wilson is out. Byron Westbrook is in for him at corner for the Redskins. 2nd and 2. Bootleg. Sanchez on the move. Great grab by Holmes, and he angles out of bounds. First down.
Wow. How about running full speed, having a fastball coming at you, tailing away from you. Now I just go with one hand, and I'm going to make it my left hand. What a catch. 12 yards and a beauty. 3rd catch of the afternoon for Santonio Holmes, and he made that one look easy.
Holmes not putting up huge numbers this season, and that's been an issue for him early in the year, complaining about it. Had some problems with the Jets offensive line, calling them out. He's one of the captains on this team, and felt like it was his duty to step out and be honest. Some guys didn't agree on the team. Over the head of Joe McKnight. And it's incomplete. Well, we know that Mark Sanchez is a Jet through and through. All the way down to his teeth. If there's any question, Take a look at that.
Well, that's how you protect a $1 million smile. Face mask. Actually, through the face mask is his mouth guard. Jets, Jets.
Good spelling by you.
Jets, Jets, Jets. And fireman Ed is here today. How
He
about
is.
that?
He is. He was signing autographs before the game.
Really?
Really? 2nd and 10. 3 in the backfield. Play fake. Sanchez fires to Burris. First down into Washington territory. Sanchez with a strike to Plexico Burris. And the Jets on the move. 18 yards on the hookup.
And this is as good as Sanchez has looked in quite a while, especially on this pass. Watch how quickly he gets back and gets rid of the ball. On the play before, he had a lot of time to throw, and he threw it wisely away because there's nobody open. But that time on the slant route to Burris, another first down for the Jets into Skins territory.
Dan, you hear two schools of thought in the New York area. Some believe that the Jets have to take the training wheels off of Mark Sanchez. Others believe the training wheels is what got the Jets to back-to-back AFC championship games.
And a strong running game.
New set of downs. Green turns it upfield. Green banged down inside the 40. Moore and Slauson with good blocks up front for a 9-yard pickup.
Right, Ian, it's very similar to what Plexico was talking about yesterday to us about this offense gets rolling when the offensive line does their job and the running backs get the running game going. The Jets and Mark Sanchez always has been a better play-action passer than a straight drop-back passer. And that's what we're seeing in this first half against Washington today.
Offensive consultant Tom Moore, formerly with the Indianapolis Colts, part of the Jets staff. He was at the facility this week. Rex Ryan loves having him around, and he believes the players are fully aware of what's on Moore's resume. Up the middle for Green. It's a 2-yard gain. And it is enough for a first down. Fletcher combining with Bowen on the stop.
And I think the real benefit for having Tom Moore here is in the wide receivers. I mean, look at who Tom Moore has coached in his career. A couple of Hall of Famers, Lynn Swann, John Stallworth with the Steelers way back when. And, of course, the great Marvin Harrison with the Indianapolis Colts working with Peyton Manning. So the passing game, these receivers, when they hear Tom Moore say something, they listen.
Timeout called by the Jets, stopping the clock with 4:43 remaining. Second quarter. Coming up, Sprint halftime report. JB and the gang. Latest NFL scores and highlights. That's all coming up on the Sprint halftime report. Jets have 2 timeouts remaining. Washington with 3. We've got 4:43 to play in this first half. First down for the Jets at the Washington 35. Motion man is Keller. Play fake. Sanchez looks, throws, high throw for Holmes, incomplete. Santonio Holmes already has more catches today than he had all of last week. 2 grabs. Did have a touchdown in that win over Buffalo in that frantic finish where the Jets defense was able to hold up, but it looked like the Bills were going to win it with a touchdown from Fitzpatrick to Stevie Johnson.
No catches so far for Dustin Heller. Keller, the leading receiver for the Jets coming in.
Jets have 3 fourth-quarter comebacks this season. Wins over Dallas, San Diego, and Buffalo. 2nd and 10. Deep drop. Sanchez to the outside. And there is Keller getting involved, but nothing there. He gains 1.5 yards. Brian Orakpo out in coverage with a tackle.
And I think that Sanchez would prefer seeing Orakpo out in coverage. With Danian Tomlinson back in the lineup, that's huge for the Jets. Of course, it's 3rd down. They may just have him in there to pass protect for Sanchez.
They also have Curley in the game, who also missed the last 2 games with knee trouble.
Here's Curley at the top of the screen, 1-on-1.
9th play of the drive, 3rd and 9 for New York. Shotgun, Sanchez, protection holds up. Throws to Curley. And working out on the perimeter, short of a first down. D'Angelo Hall brings him down. It's a 7-yard gain, but gives them some necessary yardage for a field goal attempt.
Yeah, watch D'Angelo Hall. He's got a man-for-man across the field. It's a good job by Hall after the catch, closing quickly and bringing Curley down about 1.5 yards shy.
We asked Hall about Mark Sanchez. He had those comments earlier in the week. Hall said, look, I was asked, is Sanchez a top-tier quarterback? I said, he's a middle-of-the-pack guy. Some good moments, some bad moments. There wasn't a knock, according to Hall. 45-yard attempt, Nick Folk. He's got it. And we are tied at 10. 3:06 left to play in this first half. Mark Sanchez, 11 of 14, 98 yards. All-time series between these two teams favors the Redskins. They've won 8 of 9. The one Jets win was a little bit short of epic. It was 1993. Check it out. Quarterback Boomer Esiason hit hard by Washington. Skins quarterback Rich Gannon also works for CBS. Didn't fare much better. The only points came on a Kerry Blanchard field goal. The Jets won it 3-0. We're going to have highlights of sacks coming up for CBS quarterbacks Dan Fouts, Dan Marino, Steve Berline, and Gary Danielson. We'll get our college analyst in there as well.
Yeah, but I don't think I was ever in a 3-0 game. I can't.
Really? Never?
3-0. Are you kidding?
Don Coryell would not let that happen.
We got 3 for just getting off the bus.
Johnny Johnson had a big game, 134 yards on the ground. The running back for the Jets back then.
But I'm kind of proud of both Boomer and Rich on that highlight there. They got vicious hits in the pocket there. Hung on to the ball, did not turn it over.
Well, Boomer was a tough guy.
Absolutely, and Rich.
That was early in Rich's career. Eventually moving on to Minnesota, Kansas City, and Oakland. Both were NFL MVPs. It's a lot of trivia in a short period of time.
For a 3-0 game.
Yeah. Knotted up at 10 apiece. Just over 3 minutes to play in this first half. Brandon Banks will return it for Washington. Banks to the 20-yard line. Tomorrow on CBS, to save these children, the 5-0 team will do anything. But first, they'll have to find them. Don't miss a new episode of Hawaii 5-0. That's tomorrow, only CBS. Redskins at 4-7. They've lost 3 straight here at FedEx Field. Washington has not beaten a team with a winning record coming into a game this season. Give is to Halou. And back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Marcus Dixon there defensively for the Jets.
Well, Rex Grossman started off on that first drive. He was very effective, hitting 2 of his 3 passes, including this 42-yarder to Fred Davis. But since that point, Grossman has been off target, wild high a few times. It'll be interesting to see if the Skins get back to their rushing attack. He started the game 5 of 7, has missed his last 4.
Meanwhile, for the Jets, of their 6 wins this season, only Dallas has a winning record. Over the middle for Fred Davis, breaking 2 tackles, and Davis busting to the outside. Veers out of bounds at midfield. That's a 30-yard catch and run for the talented tight end, now in his 4th year from USC.
He's working against Donald Strickland. Here is Davis, here is Strickland, and again, it's one of these crossing routes. Davis with surprising speed for a big man, 258 pounds, powerful, breaking tackles, and another 30-yarder for Fred Davis all the way to midfield.
Second catch, 72 yards for Davis. And we've hit the 2-minute warning here at FedEx Field. Tied up at 10-10, Jets and Redskins. Back in Landover, Maryland, Jets and Redskins tied at 10. Washington with a football, 1st and 10 at the 50. 2 minutes to play in this first half. Roy Halou in the backfield. Take the handoff. Grossman floats one for Fred Davis, and he's ridden down. David Harris was all over it. It'll go down as a loss of 1 on the play.
I think the Jets are getting tired of seeing Fred Davis making plays. They had 2 linebackers that time on that misdirection throw.
Grossman is now 7 of 13 for 102 yards on the day. Had 314 yards in the win over Seattle last week. But he does have the highest interception percentage in the league. Deep drop. Grossman throws it towards the Jet sideline. Who was there, though, offensively for Washington was their intended receiver.
And Grossman was not out of the tackle box, so this is going to be intentional grounding.
It is.
There goes the flag.
Donald Strickland came in on a corner blitz.
Intentional grounding. Number 8, the offense. Penalty includes loss of down, third down.
And a great job by Donald Strickland coming on the blitz. Just embarrassed Roy Hello with his pass protection. That forced Grossman to throw it away. Watch the blitz here by Strickland. And watch how poor the pass blocking is by the rookie Hello. And again, now where Grossman throws the ball, he is within the tackle box there. And a good call by the officials getting together and conferring.
So back it up. 3rd and 21. Grossman. Look at this drop by Grossman, and he's forced to throw it away at the feet of Roy Hello. Fans reacting here in Washington.
Well, and again, Ian, it's 3 straight passes by Grossman. They've gone totally away from their running game with Roy Hello, who's got 11 carries for 63 yards here in the first half.
And Washington could have run the football to force the Jets to use one of their timeouts. So the Jets are going to get the ball back with about a minute left and 2 timeouts to work with. Loose football! Curley unable to secure it. And the problems continue in punt returns for the Jets. When Curley was hurt, the Jets fumbled 2 punts in his absence. He comes back, and he can't hold on to the ball. Perry Riley on the recovery for Washington.
Yeah, officially called a muff. Watch the blast there as he gets drilled by Niles Paul. And Perry Riley there for the recovery, and the Skins are in business at the 18. Good high punt by Rocca.
The rookie at a TCU, the most special team fumbles in the NFL, the New York Jets. Washington takes over inside the 20. Grossman deflected, incomplete. Sione Boua on that defensive line. Muhammad Wilkerson getting pressure as well. Special teams turnovers, we've seen plenty of them. Go back to week 3 at Oakland. Cromartie on a kickoff return. Week 6, botched return results in a turnover. Week 10 against New England, it's Joe McKnight. Week 11 against Denver, McKnight again. And week 12 against Buffalo, Cromartie. Tack on one more, that's 6 for Mike Westhoff, who's been one of the best special teams coaches in the NFL throughout his career. 2nd and 10. Grossman to the sideline. Fred Davis. Davis tackled inside the 10. He's got a first down for Washington.
Now, he almost gave that first down up. He had it with the catch. Was looking to get all the way to the end zone, but did get enough for the first down as Curley looking on in disappointment.
Redskins use a timeout. They've got 2 remaining. Coming up, Sprint Halftime Report. JB and Company back in New York. Latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report. So Mark Sanchez and the Jets offense thought they were going to get an opportunity late stages of the second quarter. Instead, Washington with a chance here to put points on the board before the break.
A lot of time, too, and 2 timeouts for the Redskins. So they don't necessarily have to throw the ball on every down.
And Dan, with that muff punt, the Jets will have only 3 first-half possessions unless they get the ball back before halftime. 1st and goal for the Redskins. Timeout. Rex Grossman is asking for it. He never got it.
It's an illegal formation.
Number 8, offense.
That's a heads-up call by Grossman.
The second timeout.
We saw that he had
by the same team are not allowed. delay a game, 5-yard penalty.
Can't go back-to-back, and that happened here in Washington when Joe Gibbs called back-to-back timeouts trying to ice a kicker.
You look at this formation right here is number 77, Jamal Brown. No wide receivers at all out here. Obviously a mix-up by the Skins.
If memory serves, that Gibbs back-to-back timeout came against Buffalo. Grossman throws. Catch made by Santana Moss. And he's hit at the 5-yard line. 7-yard gain, 2nd and goal coming up, down to 34 seconds and counting left in this first half. And now they use the timeout to stop the clock.
Heck of a catch by Moss, sprinting across the middle. One thing that Grossman told us, he just can always trust Santana Moss to make the right decision on a lot of choice routes. They like to run him out of the slot where he has the freedom to go right or left or down the field. And 9 times out of 10, with his football intelligence, Moss will make the right decision.
Well, then last week, it was guest Tom Brady and a mic'd-up Harbaugh Thanksgiving. Who'll catch the holiday spirit this week? Behind the scenes and ahead of the game, it's Inside the NFL, Wednesdays on Showtime. Second and goal for Washington. Redskins trying to regain the lead with an empty backfield. Grossman, end zone, tip ball. The Jets got their hands on it twice. Strickland, Brodney Poole, opportunities. It's incomplete.
Looked like it might have been David Harris who got his hand on it. Aaron Maben had a shot at it as well. Here's Harris right here. Watch Maben, 51, right in front of him. Oh, pinball. Brodney Poole had the best shot at it in the end zone.
Third and goal for the Redskins. 28 seconds left in the half. Grossman throws. Knocked away. Stepping in front, Jim Leonard.
Well, I don't like this choice by Grossman, throwing it outside to his running back who wasn't even in the end zone. Leonard with a great play, breaking on the pass. Here's Jim Leonard right here. Watch Halu work to the goal line, but not across it. It was 3rd and goal. You got to get across the goal line.
So the Jeremy Curley muff, it appears, will cost the Jets 3 points. 23-yard attempt here for Graham Gano. Didn't look pretty coming off the foot, but it counts as 3 on the board for Washington. 13-10 Redskins, 19 seconds left, second quarter.
It's good to see Savroka back out there. Remember, he had that great punt that Curley could not handle, so apparently he is not injured after that running, quote-unquote, into the punter penalty.
Rex Ryan thought the kick was no good. It did curl through for Gano. And a 3-point lead now for the Redskins. So Curley could not secure the punt. Washington 6 plays, 13 yards. And Gano gets the 23-yard field goal. Jets have committed 23 turnovers this season. They forced 20. That's the highest combined total in the NFL. And a frustrating season for Mike Westhoff in that category. Well, we talked about the inconsistent play of the Jets at the top of the broadcast, and we've seen it just within the first 2 quarters.
Really, both defenses have settled down. Remember that both offenses had great opening drives in this game. But they both have been inconsistent throughout the year, and it's showing up again in this first half.
McKnight made a bad decision earlier on a kickoff return where he got buttoned into the corner. This one takes a bounce at the 25. Turner almost lost the football, and he gets tracked down from behind by McIntosh, a good special teams player. 12 seconds remaining in this first half. Saturday, CBS Sports presents one of the most storied and illustrious spectacles in all of sports. Army-Navy, presented by USAA. It all begins with college football today at 2 p.m. right here on CBS Sports.
Someday I would like to be able to broadcast at one of those games because I know how important it is and how great it is and how much fun it is, huh?
Yeah, I was fortunate to do it for 8 years. Honestly, just a fantastic event. Jets take a knee. And that'll do it for this first half. Washington will hit the locker room with a 3-point lead over the New York Jets. Jets in a dogfight in the AFC playoff picture. 13-10 Redskins. We'll come back. The Sprint halftime report is coming up after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Jets on the road here against the Redskins. Sanchez solid in the first half, but the Jets trail on the scoreboard. That's because Washington is finding playmakers. Roy Halou, Fred Davis both having an impact in the first half for Washington. And at the break, Redskins 13, Jets 10, getting ready for the start of the second half. Let's take a look at the Droid Razor play presented by Motorola.
Yeah, it was an impressive opening drive for the Redskins. This was just the third pass of the first half for Rex Grossman. Hit his big tight end Fred Davis for 42 yards. But the running game for the Redskins was just so important in the first quarter, and they got totally away from it in the second quarter. Grossman ended up the first half throwing the ball 9 straight times.
And the Jets, what did they talk about yesterday in our meeting? Style points mean nothing right now. 5 games left in the season for the Jets. There's a feeling within that locker room that they may have to run the table to make the playoffs. Obviously, there's a lot of different combinations that can happen in the AFC.
Well, and they started well on offense as well, but since that time, they really struggled. The injury to LaDainian Tomlinson, I think, has really affected the Jets' game plan so far. You can see total yards in favor of the Redskins, but tight ball game, good ball game so far.
Jets will have the football to start this second half. Graham Gano kicking off for Washington. Joe McKnight's going to take it out of the end zone for New York. McKnight tripped as he went airborne and tackled at the 15-yard line by Reed Dowdy on special teams.
Go back to the first half possessions for New York. Perfect way to start the day with a 17-play drive, but that took 9 minutes off the clock. And so that resulted in the Jets just having 4 possessions and really only 3 possessions in that first half.
Yeah, the final possession was taking a knee with just seconds remaining. Basically 3 possessions, so not a lot of opportunities. And because the Jets used up so much time on that opening drive, 13-10, Washington in front. Patrick Turner is in as a third receiver. Green in the backfield, shotgun. Flag comes down. Ryan Kerrigan was rushing against Matthew Mulligan, who pulled back on the offensive line.
Number 82, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
And there's no second chance for Mulligan after jumping off sides, going back to the injury in the first quarter. Otagwe pulls down LaDainian Tomlinson legally from behind it. Tomlinson re-injured his left knee, although we did see him come in for a short time on a third down situation where he's called upon to pass protect.
Oh, there's some words being exchanged there on the Jets sideline. 1st and 15. Sanchez throws, looping throw, looking for Plexico Burress. Matthew Mulligan got heated along that Jets bench area.
Somebody must have said something to him. But obviously Mulligan upset with himself as well for jumping off sides. Really backing the Jets up.
So the backup tight end out of Maine is left to stew on the sideline. Jets trail by 3. We are just underway in this second half. 2nd and 15. Four receiver set. And flags come down again.
Delay a game.
Delay game. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
What a horrible way to start the second half.
So the Jets defer after winning the coin toss. They allow Washington to come down the field and score in the opening drive with the idea, well, at least you're going to get the football back to start the second half, and this is what they're doing with it.
2 penalties all the way back now to the 5-yard line. And this really puts a lot of pressure on Sanchez and this offensive line.
Jets had only 1 penalty called on them in the first half. They've got 2 in the first minute 9 of the second half. 2nd and 20. Sanchez pump. Sanchez in some trouble. Throwing on the move. Incomplete. Burris kept going upfield. Ryan Kerrigan putting the pressure on Mark Sanchez. It's 3rd and 20.
And Wayne Hunter's going to get away with a hold here. Watch his left arm right around the throat of Kerrigan. Good job by Sanchez to move up into the pocket, get rid of it. That could have been a safety if it was called. It certainly was holding by Wayne Hunter. Or Kerrigan would have sacked the quarterback.
Redskins with 33 sacks this season. That's 3rd in the NFL. 3rd and 20. Sanchez for Turner, breaks a tackle. And they go conservative as we have some words from Turner after the play. He took exception to the way that he was brought down by Oshimago Atagwe.
And right in the middle of the action is London Fletcher as well.
So a 3 and out for the Jets to open up the second half. T.J. Connolly punting. Brandon Banks is going to let it bounce. It doesn't even make it to the field to play. It's out of bounds. Official will spot it at the 43-yard line. That's where Washington will open up after the 46-yard punt. 13-10, Washington leading the Jets. 3rd quarter here at FedEx Field. Jets interaction at 6-5. Redskins are 4-7. They snapped a 6-game losing streak with a win in Seattle last week. Roy Halou with a head of steam. And Halou carries just short of the 50-yard line. 5-yard gain. Calvin Pace making the play on the outside.
Well, that's a good start to the second half for the Redskins, getting the ball to number 29. This is his only catch of the game. Went for 8 yards. This is a 2-yard touchdown run, the second of the season. But this is what he gives the Redskins: a burst, speed, and as we just saw on the last play, dragging tacklers for a 4-yard gain.
Shanahan said he's got the ability to get yards after contact and the ability to get better as the game goes on, as the defensive players get tired. Well, that time he's not breaking free. Jamal Westerman, the 3rd-year pro from Rutgers, with the stick on Roy Halou.
Well, the Jets with the run blitz this time, as Westerman gets inside the tight end, Fred Davis. You can see also Bart Scott was coming. So Rex Ryan and this defense, they know they've got to stop that young lady's little boy.
His mom, Christy, came in from the West Coast. Nice word usage by you. Grossman. Low throw. Fans wanted a penalty on Brodney Poole. And a matchup with Fred Davis, and the Jets defense holds. So we'll see Sav Rocca on for Washington, and a change at punt return for the Jets.
In the sprinter stance is Aaron Maben. And watch that move to get inside right into the throwing vision of Rex Grossman.
Jim Leonard is on after Curley couldn't handle the last punt. And Leonard, a fair catch called for just short of the 20-yard line. He is sure-handed. He may not have the ability to make the plays that others like McKnight and Curley can, but he's going to catch it.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Garmin. Give a Garmin GPS this holiday season. And by Acura. Acura Advance.
Blue skies here along the Capitol Beltway. Washington with a 13-10 lead over the Jets. Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line. Sean Green in the backfield. Green gets the carry, trying to cut it to the outside. And the Redskins with excellent lateral movement. No gain on the play. Ryan Kerrigan. Another strong play on defense. Tonight on CBS, has Team NFL gone native? 4 teams remain with only 2 episodes to go. All new Amazing Race. That's tonight, only CBS.
Man, that looks like a lot of hard work.
You want no part of that.
No.
2nd and 10 now for the Jets. 12 minutes left in this 3rd quarter. Sanchez gets rid of it. Hits Dustin Keller. Tackle just short of the 25-yard line by the linebacker London Fletcher. It covers 7 yards. They open the day with a 9-minute and 6-second drive. Since then, combining their next 4 possessions, it's been 8 minutes and 19 seconds for the Jets.
And pretty even on the play selection. 18 runs, 18 passes now for the Jets, but the runs have only netted 31 yards.
LaDainian Tomlinson is in. 3rd and 3 for New York. 4 receivers in this formation. Sanchez standing tall in the pocket, throws over the head of Santonio Holmes, and the Jets unable to convert. Back-to-back 3-and-outs to start out this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, defensive coordinator Jim Haslett brought the blitz off the corner from Kevin Barnes. Barnes got away from LaDainian Tomlinson and put pressure on Sanchez that caused that interception, that overthrown pass.
Zone blitzing scheme from Jim Haslett, who was the defensive coordinator in Pittsburgh years ago, who replaced Dick LeBeau back in the 1997 season. Punt from Conley, fair catch, brought in by Banks. Redskins get the football back following the 50-yard punt. We're in a 3-point game in the 3rd. 13-10, Washington over the Jets. 11:03 left in the 3rd quarter. This Redskins squad started the season 3-1, hit the bye, and then dropped 6 in a row. 0-2 against the AFC East this season. Losses to Buffalo and Miami. 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Take the handoff. Grossman, look out! Grossman brought down off the rush from Westerman. Loss of 6 on the play.
That's 2 really good plays by Westerman in the last 2 series, and that one hurt Grossman. Most blindside shots do. Watch as he comes all the way around. Look like Logan Paulson's got the pass protection for about a half a second.
That was Brian Thomas's spot. He went down with an Achilles injury, placed on IR. We've seen Westerman used there, Garrett McIntyre used there, and Aaron Maben. Give to Halou. Trying to run off tackle, a 3-yard pickup. Calvin Pace with the stop for the Jets.
These are all the possessions so far for the Redskins. You can see what a good start they got off to. 10 points in their first 2 drives, and primarily it was giving the ball to Roy Hello. But on this last series of plays, that sack really puts Grossman in a tough situation.
Grossman from the gun. 3rd and 13. Rush is coming. Grossman dials it up long and incomplete. Jabbar Gaffney, the intended receiver. He had Darrelle Revis all over him. We have not called Revis's name very often here today, unlike last week where the Bills were picking on Revis, matched up with Stevie Johnson.
And that was a smart overthrow by Grossman because Gaffney was covered like a blanket with Revis right on his back.
Gaffney's dad, Derek, was a wide receiver for the Jets. Sam Rocca punting to Jim Leonard, moves forward, has some room at the 39. Leonard into Washington territory, brought down at the 47-yard line by Reed Doughty. 39-yard punt and a 14-yard return. Outstanding field position for the Jets opening this drive.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Philips Norelco Senso Touch 3D. A great shave, dry or wet, with gel or foam. And by the Droid Razor. Thin is no longer frail, only at Verizon.
Jets open up this possession with the ball at the Washington 47, trailing by 3, 9:35 to play in the third. Sean Green. Plenty of room for Green as he cuts through for a 9-yard gain. London Fletcher, the tackle for Washington. And aerial coverage of today's action being provided by MetLife.
You know, against this type of aggressive blitzing style of defense, misdirection is a good idea. That was a misdirection play that picked up 8 yards.
Jets number 24 in the NFL in total offense, 15th in scoring. They've been held to 10 points. Green gets it again, 2nd and 1. Green up the middle, leaning forward. Very close to a first down. NFL Today update, JB and Boomer in New York.
Tim Tebow.
Oh, it's Tebow time after completing only 4 passes in the first half. Now it's the second half. Let's get involved. Demarius Thomas, 21 yards, 15-14. Vikings stay on top.
Not Dan Faust's numbers, but 6 of 9, 67 yards, and a touch by Tebow, Ian, and Dan.
Denver 5-1 since Tebow took over as the starting quarterback from Kyle Orton, who's now in Kansas City. John Connor leaves his feet, and he's got a first down.
Yeah, he left his feet, but he kept his pad level low and got underneath the tacklers just enough to pick up the first down. 5'11", 245, and underneath the diving London Fletcher.
Second-year fullback from Kentucky with his 12th carry of the season. Tomlinson limited action after aggravating that left knee injury in the first quarter. Down to 7:38 and counting, remaining in the third quarter, 13-10 Washington. New set of downs for the Jets. Sanchez throws on the out route. Holmes gets hit. Juggle is the call. It's incomplete.
And Josh Wilson with great reaction here. Ball poorly thrown by Sanchez, but the shove to the ground by Wilson right here causes the ball to come out of the grasp of Santonio Holmes. Great effort there to make the catch, and equally great effort by Wilson to prevent the catch.
Holmes got stamped by the cornerback Josh Wilson and couldn't hold on to it. 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, rush coming. Set it up for Keller, who gets banged down. Another hard hit from this Washington defense. Otagwe and Fletcher. 4-yard gain for the tight end. It's 3rd down for Rex Ryan's team.
Pretty good chess match between some outstanding defensive coordinators. Jim Haslett bringing the blitz, the fire zone blitz that time. They were all over the hot receiver for Sanchez.
Washington ranked 11th in team defense. They have not allowed a 300-yard passer this season. 3rd and 6. Out of the gun. Sanchez gets rid of it. Tight window, incomplete. Keller with Doughty. Right now the Jets are staring at a 51-yard attempt.
Well, the pressure right up the middle. You can see Stephen Bowen come in there, and Doughty on the other end of it with tight coverage on the tight end, Dustin Keller. But Sanchez could not step into this throw because of the pressure from Bowen.
This would be a season high for Nick Folk. Career long is 56. Burnell will hold it, looking for the tie. 51-yarder. He nails it. Deadlocked at 13 with 6:36 to play in the third. So the Jets, the field position was tremendous, and they turn it into 3 points. Walking into the stadium today, fans were yelling out, "Hey, Dan! Hey, Dan!" I didn't know if they were yelling for you or if they thought I was Daniel Snyder.
Well, I thought it was me, and then I turned around, and they were definitely pointing at you. I've never seen the two of you in the same spot.
13 all, Jets and Redskins after the field goal from Fulp. Banks up the middle and tackled from the side by Josh Maga. Next Sunday, NFL on CBS doubleheader action. First, the Redskins host Tom Brady and the Patriots. Right here at FedEx Field, the Jets battle the Chiefs in New Jersey. Then the Raiders take on Aaron Rodgers and the undefeated Packers. It all starts with the NFL Today presented by Southwest Airlines at noon Eastern here on CBS. 6.5 to play. Third quarter, Washington with the football. 1st and 10 at its own 24-yard line. No Darrell Young today for Washington at fullback. Mike Sellers getting the nod. Grossman to throw. Fires. Almost intercepted by Harris. Santana Moss, the intended target.
Mike Pettin calls him the foundation of our defense. He almost picked up his 3rd interception of the year. Check out the reaction here by Harris, reading Grossman's eyes, breaking on the pass, and if he doesn't make contact here with Moss, he will pick that one off. But Grossman, who started the game 5 of 7, has now hit just his last 4 out of 16 throws. You talked about you don't know what you're always going to get from Grossman. It's been a bad Grossman lately.
Back to the ground game. Halu loses the ball at the end of the play. Scooped up by Smith. Redskins believe he was down. And he was. Scott and Harris combining on the stop.
Yeah, head linesman Derek Bowers comes in from the side. He saw the knee go down, the ball come out, and said that he was down. Take another look at it. This is going to be challenged. This ball is out, and it's a good challenge by Rex Ryan. So the hit by Bart Scott Ian got the ball out in combination with the foundation, David Harris.
Fumble by Halu. You saw the right knee, but the ball was moving as he was going down. Right there, look, that's not clean.
Yeah, that ball is out a long time ago. It's clearly out when the knee hits.
Eric Smith able to scoop up the fumble. Rex Ryan has challenged. I tell you, I think the ball was out even before contact. It looked like he just didn't handle it well. There might have been a scrape here. Right there, it's on his hip. It's on his upper leg.
Yeah, this is a smart challenge by the Rex Ryan. The play was made by Marcus Dixon. It looked like he got his right hand on the ball and popped it out. This will be Jets ball in great shape here at about the 28-yard line. Or even better after the return by Smith.
Told you about the numbers early in the game. The Redskins have been plagued by turnovers. 25 of them, second in the NFL behind Philadelphia. They've turned the ball over in 25 straight games, and if this one goes the other way, it'll be 26 in a row, the longest active streak in the NFL. Roy Halu, 15 carries, 71 yards and a touchdown, but right now could be on the hook for a costly fumble. So John Parry is going to fill us in.
After reviewing the play, the runner did lose possession of the ball, and it was recovered by New York. So it will be New York's ball, 1st and 10 on the 29.5-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 6:22. 6:22 on the game clock. Clock will start on the snap. New York has won 2 challenges Therefore, gets a third.
So it is a fumble for the rookie out of Nebraska, Roy Halou, and the Jets take over after the challenge by Rex Ryan.
Yeah, this big hand right here belongs to Marcus Dixon. Watch it slap the ball right there out of the hands as Harris and Scott converge. And number 33, Eric Smith, there for the recovery for New York.
It was originally blown dead on the field that the knee was down, but they took another look after the challenge by the Jets. Now the Jets fans have made the trip here to Landover, Maryland, reacted after the call. Jets take over 1st and 10 at the 29. Curley is in. Sanchez is on the Jets sideline. Joe McKnight in the backfield with Curley. The spin move by Curley. He played high school quarterback. And the rookie out of TCU able to pick up 7 yards, and here comes Sanchez. Tied at 13, the game summary. Redskins opening drive of the game, 8 plays, 82 yards. They get a touchdown. The Jets answer with a 17-play, 74-yard drive. Took more than 9 minutes. Jets, Curley, unable to handle a punt. Washington got points off of that before halftime. The Jets have evened it with a 51-yard field goal from Folk. 2nd and 3. Sean Green tried to turn it upfield and maybe picked up half a yard. Adam Carricker with a stop for Washington. Jets come in 1 game behind Cincinnati in the wild card hunt, tied with Denver and Tennessee.
Jets just 3 of 9 converting 3rd downs this afternoon against this Redskins defense.
3rd and 3 for the Jets. Connor goes in motion. Fake the handoff. Sanchez in trouble. Spins away. Sanchez throws underneath. Connor gets bumped. Could not get the first down. Perry Riley with the hit. Sanchez was able to break loose as Brian Arakpo was on the prowl.
Arakpo has 6.5 sacks this year, but the numbers really don't tell the real story. He's been providing pressure on opposing quarterbacks all year long. Great move there by Sanchez. And how about this tackle coming up here by Perry Riley, keeping the big fullback John Connor from the first down.
40-yard field goal attempt for Nick Folk. Just hit one from 51 yards away. Folk, he pushed that one. No good. 13 all. That's where we stand at the 4:19 mark of the 3rd quarter.
Boy, and running back Roy Halou says thank you to Nick Folk for missing this one. And disappointment from the Jets quarterback. That is a bullet dodged.
Redskins take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line. Toss. Halou. Zigzags to the outside. Halou absorbs the contact. He and Cromartie talking some smack after the play. It's an 8-yard gain. Game summary. Roy Halou got Washington on the board in the 1st. Then the Jets get the touchdown from Green. Curley, the muff punt. That led to 3 for Washington. Gano, the short field goal. Nick Folk, 51-yarder, but he misses from 40 yards away, and we remain tied at 13. Under 4 minutes to go in the 3rd. Halou wrapped up short of the 40-yard line. That's the line he needs to get the first down. Marcus Dixon with the stop. 1-yard gain.
Yeah, Ropati Patoitua had a shot at stopping Halou in the backfield. But again, the rookie out of Nebraska surprising the Jets with his ability to break free after contact and pick up yardage.
Had his first career 100-yard rushing game last week in the victory over Seattle. He's got 17 carries for 80 yards and a touchdown here today. 3rd and 1 for Washington. Gaffney in motion. Bootleg. Grossman pump. Grossman throws. High throw. Slapped away. Bart Scott. Scott ranging over, able to reverse field and make the play out along the perimeter for the Jets.
This is going to be a touchdown one way or the other. Bart Scott, if he catches it, he'll score going one way. But if Gaffney gets the ball, he's going to go all this way. What a play by Bart Scott. At 6'2", watch him get up in the air here and swat it out of bounds.
Sav Rocca on. Jim Leonard standing at his own 19. And Leonard, momentum carried him out of bounds right around the 23-yard line. 38-yard punt, 2:59 to go in the third. Thursday on CBS, the next person these two heroes must protect is the one person who can blow their cover. Person of interest, new episode Thursday, only CBS.
That would be a dilemma, wouldn't it?
It would. You have a tremendous breakdown of the primetime shows on CBS. That's a tease.
I don't miss them all. Don't miss any of them either.
Again, the Jets find themselves in a tight game. Their playoff lives may be at stake at 6-5. Play action. Sanchez fires. Should have been picked off.
It's a great break on the ball by D'Angelo Hall. This is 2 weeks in a row now where he's had a real good shot at another interception. He's got 34 in his career. This one hit him right between the 2 and the 3. Watch the reaction here by Hall as he breaks in front of Plexico Burris and just can't make the catch.
We asked Rex Ryan about D'Angelo Hall. He said he's like middle of the pack in terms of aggressiveness. Obviously a play on what Hall had to say about Sanchez. Sanchez is on the outside. Direct snap to Green. Gets a block. Flag down as he leans forward. Brought down at the 25-yard line. Picks up 3 yards.
That's going to be holding against the Jets. So far in this third quarter, 1 first down for the Jets, none for the Redskins. It's illegal procedure against the Jets. Illegal formation, perhaps.
Illegal formation on the offense. Number 88 covered up number 82. That penalty's been declined. Result of the play, third down.
Well, turning down the penalty to bring up third down.
Well, this is where the Redskins like to play defense, is on third down. Jim Haslett has a lot of exotic blitzes, if you will.
Could have been 2nd and 15 instead of 3rd and 7. Decision made by Mike Shanahan of the Washington Redskins. See if the Redskins pin their ears back here. Play clock is winding down. Sanchez out of the gun. Rush is coming. Sanchez gets dumped. Flag down. Kevin Barnes. A crusher.
They may get Barnes for a penalty on the hit on Sanchez, but before all that, the flags were thrown for offsides or illegal procedure.
There are 2 fouls on the play. False start, number 81. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, helmet to helmet. By rule, that's a 5 and a 15-yard penalty. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced. 1st and 10. New York.
Yeah, it was an exotic blitz with Barnes coming late. Here's Barnes. Watch him come in. Prior to the snap, though, it was illegal procedure on the Jets, but lowering the head like that is going to get you a flag every time. It's amazing the players continue to do it. Boy, the whistle blown long before Sanchez was blown up. Obviously, Barnes upset. He did not hear the whistle, but he did lower his head nonetheless, and that'll draw the flag.
Well, somebody's got to get control of Kevin Barnes. Sanchez kind of leaned into it as well as he was getting ready to take the hit. Sanchez, that pass knocked down. So a fresh set of downs for the Jets after the Barnes penalty. Brian Arakpo with the heat on Mark Sanchez.
And they go back to the 15-yard penalty and the 5-yard penalty. Obviously, the 15-yard penalty is going to have precedence. Sanchez at the last instant saw Barnes coming and tried to protect himself.
We asked Plexico Burress about Sanchez. He said, look, he's a passionate guy. He wants to play well. I told him, trust it and trust the guys on the outside. Green. Good move by Green. Flag thrown at the 44. D'Angelo Hall cutting him down low. And a 4-yard pickup. We'll see if it's coming back.
Personal foul. They'll leave him crackback. Coming back to the ball and blocking low. Number 81. 15-yard penalty will be played. Second down.
Keller, the guilty party there with 1:56 to play in the third.
Here's Keller. Watch him come down and go low. Blocking on Kerrigan. And again, that's a safety issue. At the end of the play, did you notice how slowly Sean Green got up?
Yep.
Still battling that painful rib injury.
They lost him early in that Denver game, that Thursday night loss. That's when they had to go with McKnight and Bilal Powell, the rookie out of Louisville, because Tomlinson wasn't available with the knee injury. Tomlinson got hurt in the first quarter, aggravating that left knee trouble. Dump off. McKnight trying to create after the catch, and he's bottled up short of the 30-yard line. Atagwe, first man there, and McKnight injured on the play.
That was a heck of a tackle by Atagwe, too, because he had a couple of big Jet offensive linemen. It looks like McKnight may have a shoulder injury as he's holding that right arm down to his side. It's a great tackle in the open field by Atagwe. Now as he goes to the ground right there with London Fletcher and Kerrigan on top of him, may have injured his right shoulder.
They're running out of running backs. Sanchez with a play clock down to 1. He's forced to use a timeout on a 3rd and 23. Is it worth wasting the timeout there?
Not in a tie ball game where both offenses are struggling to score points. Might as well just take the 5-yard penalty. Play the field position game.
Odds are you're going to punt it either way.
Well, especially when you look at the fact that the Jets have only converted 3 of 10 third downs this afternoon. Interesting, though, they had both LaDainian Tomlinson and Sean Green in the backfield in that particular formation.
168 yards of offense for the Jets, 194 for Washington. Jets unable to take advantage of a Roy Halou fumble. Nick Folk missing on a 40-yard field goal, which would have given the Jets a 16-13 lead. 3rd and 23 now. From the gun. Dump off, lunging grab made by Green, or at least an attempt at it. And again, the timeout used for that. Not worth it.
Well, what happened is Green got tangled up with his own center, Nick Mango. Trying to get out into the screen, and the pressure, I think, caused Sanchez to throw the ball too soon. Ugly looking play.
And here's the field possession game that you were talking about with T.J. Conley on to punt it. 21 seconds left in the third quarter. Officials huddled up right around the 15-yard line.
36 seconds.
So it's a reset on the game clock.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was an incomplete pass, and the game clock continued to roll.
Sanchez trying to keep his guys positive as we're in the late stages of the third quarter. Conley punting to Banks. Forced to backpedal. Banks circles now. Banks slowed down at the 15. Lost the ball as it bounces out of bounds. Josh Maga was the first man down there on special teams. 52-yard punt and a loss of 5 on the return. Some important scores right now in relation to the Jets' playoff hopes. Tennessee leads Buffalo 20-10. Pittsburgh is blowing out Cincinnati. The Bengals came in with a 1-game lead over the Jets in the wild card race. And Denver trying to come from behind against Minnesota early in that fourth quarter, 22-21. Here are the standings. Houston at 8-3, New England, Baltimore also at 8-3. Oakland getting beaten by Miami today. And the Jets and Skins tied at 13. Give is to Halou. Nothing there, no gain on the play.
And so much for field position game after that disastrous punt return by Brandon Banks. I know the return was set up to the right side. Sometimes you just got to go against what the coach wants and go up the left side.
End of the third quarter, tied at 13. Welcome back to Landover after this message. The NFL on CBS. Tied at 13 as we start the fourth quarter here at FedEx Field. Ian Eagle along with Dan Fouts. What looked like it could be an offensive showcase the way this day started. It has not turned out that way. This has been more of a defensive battle, as we expected coming in.
Well, both defenses are very creative, too, putting great pressure on both quarterbacks with a lot of variety of different blitzes. This one's going to go right down to the very end. We've already seen a missed field goal in this game that could have given the Redskins a lead.
2nd and 10 here, first play of the fourth quarter. Washington Redskins and the New York Jets tied at 13. Grossman on time. David Anderson. David Harris went down with an injury there. It's a first down as we head to New York. JB and Boomer.
Tim Tebow.
That's all you have to say, JB. Watch this. No pass rush from the Minnesota Vikings. Tebow looks downfield. He's going to go to his left like he always does. Steps up, goes back to the sideline. Everybody drops coverage. Demaryius Thomas, wide open, comes and gets the ball. 41 yards, 2 touchdown passes in the second half by Tim Tebow. 22-21 Minnesota.
Tebow, 7 of 10, 108 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Linebacker David Harris, who has played at a Pro Bowl level this season for the Jets, injured on that last play. Josh Maga is in, second-year linebacker out of Nevada. Washington with its first down of the second half. Fake the handoff. Grossman, plenty of time, throws it underneath. Halou with the catch. And Halou with the first down. Leaned in on Bart Scott to get a couple of extra yards. It covers 12.
Let's go back and take a look at what happened to David Harris. Watch his left ankle here. It's number 20. Kyle Wilson is going to come in from the left side of the screen here. He's on the ground there, and you can see just a little tweak there, that left ankle. But the Redskins now have got 2 first downs the last couple of plays. Their first 2 first downs of this half.
Second catch for Halou. New set of downs for Washington. Grossman set up the screen. Halou gets blasted. Hello, Bart Scott. Loss of 4.
Yeah, and the previous play, Halou made contact with Scott along the sidelines. Well, this is payback time. There is Scott right here. Here's Halou coming out on the screen. Man-to-man coverage here. And it's too late for Maurice Hurt to get out there to protect his tailback. Mark that one up for Bart Scott.
2nd and 14. Grossman is 12 of 27, 141 yards. Out of the gun. Jets coming on the rush. The throw over the middle. Catch made by Anderson out across the 40-yard line. And that picks up 8 yards on the play. Jim Leonard with the tackle for New York.
Anderson only had 3 catches all season. He's had 2 in the last 2 minutes.
7th-round draft pick back in 2006 out of Colorado State. Spent the first 5 years of his career with the Houston Texans.
And a little bit this year with the Houston Texans.
Under 13 minutes to play. Tied at 13. 3rd and 6 for Washington. Grossman. High throw. It's handled by Davis. Oh, he just climbed the imaginary ladder for the first down.
That's a 7-man blitz by the Jets. Davis goes 6'3". Watch this pressure right up the middle on Grossman. Everybody in green and white's coming, except the 4 in the secondary. Grossman gets rid of it. Poole is a big defensive back at 6'2", but that ball thrown only where Fred Davis can make a fantastic catch.
5 straight completions now for Grossman. That one good for 12 yards, and they'll move the chains. The toss, Halou. Little juke move by Halou, and he turns it into a positive gain of 5. David Harris is back, and he was in on that stop for the Jets.
We go back to the beginning of the game when we were talking about Rex Grossman, Ian, and you said something like you don't know what you're ever going to get. You're going to get a little bit of everything. You're going to get streaks, basically. Hot streaks and cold streaks. Right now, he's hot.
I know it would be unconventional, but is it time for the Jets to put Darrelle Revis on Fred Davis? Because he continues to be the go-to guy for Washington.
That'd be a great idea.
On a pitch, Halou stood up and thrown down at the 40. No gain. Sione Boua, the big body.
Yeah, Boua has had knee problems throughout the year. He's over them, played through a lot of those injuries, and at 6'3", 325, that is a big body in the middle.
Talked to David Harris yesterday. He said, look, it's a 5-game playoff. That's the way that the team is viewing it. We can't afford another loss. We know just how important all of these games are. That sense of urgency now in the 4th quarter. 13 all, Jets and Redskins, 3rd and 5 for Washington. Big play here. Grossman out of the gun. Pump. Grossman trying to get away from Maben. Grossman hit as he throws. He got rid of it, and he got laid out on the play. David Harris.
And Logan Paulson was in the area where Grossman threw that ball. Referees, officials getting together to discuss it. And we'll see what John Perry has to say.
Grossman was very slow to get up. Maben and Harris, the final tandem to get to Rex Grossman on the rush.
Whenever you see a player back of his head hit the ground like that, that's a dangerous situation. Looks like Calvin Pace is down for the Jets.
As they take a look at the linebacker Pace, will step aside in a 13-all game.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by AT&T. Get it faster with 4G. Rethink possible. Walmart. Save money, live better. Walmart. And by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today.
$13 apiece, Redskins and Jets with 10:40 left to go in the 4th quarter. Washington a 4th down. Sav Rocca punting to Jim Leonard. Rex Ryan not taking any chances now. And Leonard has been the staple now after the fumble punt by Curley earlier late in the 2nd quarter. 29-yard punt. Looks like Calvin Pace was cramping up. They're working on him along the Jets sideline. Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 11-yard line. Deadlocked with Washington, 13 apiece. Ground game. Sean Green up the middle. And Green with a little juke move for a 9-yard pickup. Slauson and Mangold key blocks up front.
Mark Sanchez has been solid this afternoon. No turnovers, no touchdowns, but he has hit 16 of 27 to 10 different receivers, and of course his main 3, Plexico with 3 catches for 33 yards, Holmes 3 for 28, and Dustin Keller 3 catches for 12 yards.
Biggest difference, though, this Jet team compared to the last 2 years when they went to the playoffs. They're averaging 48 yards less rushing per game from last season. Only the Giants have had a bigger decline. Can they rely on the ground game here in the 4th? Fake the handoff, Sanchez. High throw, and fortunate it wasn't intercepted. Dustin Keller, the intended receiver, and he had Keller wide open.
Yeah, I think Keller may have got his left hand on this ball, or Doty would have picked this one off. Again, thrown a little bit too high and just out of the reach of Reed Doty.
3rd and 1 now for the Jets. 9:43 to play in the fourth. Holmes, the motion man. Green in the backfield. Sanchez wants to throw for the first down. Knocked down at the line. Bowen and Cofield both there defensively for Washington. So after a 9-yard gain on first down, the Jets unable to convert, and they're going to punt it away.
Yeah, you talked about Cofield, how he leads the NFL in doing just this. Watch number 96. Bowen is going to be close too. He's going to be right behind him. Heck of an effort there by Cofield.
TJ Conley, the boot to Banks. Moves forward. Banks gets through that first wave, and Banks is off and running. Inside the Jets 40. And a flag thrown. Eric Smith chased him down. 36-yard punt, a 21-yard return.
Ineligible downfield on the kick of the kicking team. Number 37, that 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First and 10.
And that's the rookie Tracy Wilson out of Northern Illinois, who was just brought up from the practice squad. Banks with a key return. Washington in good shape, tied with the Jets at 13.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Best Buy. Find the perfect gift online or in-store this holiday season at Best Buy. And by Subway Restaurants. Get your own Subway steak melt today.
Tight game here in Landover, Maryland. Tied at 13. Handoff to Halou. Washington already in field goal range after the punt by Conley and the return by Banks. Westerman makes the stop after a 2.5-yard gain by the rookie Roy Halou.
It'll be interesting to see how conservative the Redskins are, being already in that range for a field goal. But there's so much time left on the clock. If they can run the ball effectively, then that will set up the play action pass. Then that opens up Fred Davis down the field.
Right now, it would be a 47-yard attempt for Graham Gano. 2nd and 8 for the Redskins. Toss. Halou. That hole got clogged up in a hurry thanks to Bart Scott of the Jets. 1-yard gain.
It's good to see Calvin Pace back in the game for the Jets. That is cramp rubbed out on the sidelines. And the Jets will substitute 4 fresh players now.
On the other side for the Jets, it's an elbow injury for McKnight, the running back, and his return is questionable. 3rd and 7 for Washington. We come up on 8 minutes to play, 4th quarter. Evan Royster is in. Stack the receivers for Grossman, looking to his left. Grossman dials up. The long ball, incomplete. Anderson down there with Cromartie. 4th down for the Redskins.
David Anderson against Cromartie. That looks like it could have been offensive pass interference by Anderson. Watch him put both hands around Cromartie as the ball's coming in. That definitely is pass interference on Anderson.
46-yard field goal attempt for Graham Gano. Trying to put Washington in front. Gano sticks it. 16-13 Redskins. The punt return by Banks helps set up the field goal for Washington. It's a 3-point lead. 7:52 to play in the 4th.
Not a lot of time taken off the clock, though, on that drive. A couple of short runs by Hello and an incomplete pass. Gano does capitalize, though, with the field goal, but Rex Ryan's got to be happy with his defense after the great field position for the Redskins after the punt return by Banks.
So now Mark Sanchez is going to get his chance, down by 3. We know what Sanchez and the Jets offense did last week against Buffalo in the fourth quarter.
They're going to have to do exactly the same thing here if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive for that wild card. Looks like they're getting a break, though, with Cincinnati being blown out today by Pittsburgh. Oakland losing, but Denver apparently is right where they want to be, tied with Minnesota.
Jets have the fourth easiest remaining schedule left with Kansas City, Philadelphia, the Giants, and Miami.
Yeah, easy, huh? There's no such thing as an easy schedule in the NFL, especially at this time of year. Who would think that the Dolphins would be 34-0 on the Raiders this afternoon?
Graham Gano kicking off. Antonio Cromartie is deep. To the up man, Josh Baker. And the Jets will have field position out near the 50 on a 28-yard return. Graham Gano on the wrap-up. The short kick by Gano.
And Gano just chili dipped that kickoff as we look at those easy schedules you were talking about, Ian. That was a terrible kickoff by Graham Gano.
Cincinnati still has Houston, St. Louis, Arizona, and Baltimore. We told you about the Jets, Tennessee, New Orleans, Indianapolis, Jacksonville, and Houston, and Denver with the Bears, New England, Buffalo, and Kansas City. Jets entered action today, one game behind Cincinnati for the wild card spot, the second one in the AFC. First and 10 from the 48. Sanchez, protection is good, it holds up. Dump off for Green, and Green looping his way out across the 45 into Washington territory. 8-yard gain on the catch and run. Coming up, Subway postgame show, JB and the rest of the crew, latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Subway postgame show.
That was really a good read by Mark Sanchez. He sent Plexico Burris. Now the Jets are going to be called for too many men in the huddle. Mark Sanchez coming out late. They're going to go with the Wildcat, and he gets nailed.
12 men in the offensive huddle. 5-yard penalty, second down.
So that takes away all the positive feeling that you had on first down with the good setup to Green.
Yeah, he sent all his receivers deep and got Green on the dump off, but then the Jets substitute. Want to go to the Wildcat formation. Sanchez late getting out of the huddle. There's 12 men there, and John Perry, our referee today, all over it with the correct call.
Sixth penalty against the Jets, costing them 40 yards. We are under 7 minutes to play now. Washington holding on to a 3-point lead. Second and 7. Play fake. Sanchez. Pump. Sanchez breaking loose. And a slide at the 45. Picks up 3.5 yards on the play and brings up third down for the Jets.
Yeah, the important thing for Mark Sanchez is not to turn the ball over. They're almost in field goal range here. Sanchez has not been sacked yet today, so this offensive line's done a great job. Remember, Redskins are third best in the league coming into today with 33 sacks.
Third and 4. And a timeout. Remember, the Jets had to blow a timeout earlier on a 3rd and 23 with the play clock winding down. And now the Jets will have one timeout left. .608 mark of the fourth. Jets 1-4 on the road this season. Losses at Oakland, Baltimore, New England, and Denver. (16-13) Washington leading the Jets, and the Jets facing a 3rd and 4 with 6:08 to play. Ball at the Washington 45-yard line. Nick Folk, who missed on a 40-yard field goal attempt that would have given the Jets a 3-point lead. Now they're down by 3. Critical third down play here, working from the gun. Sanchez pump, rush coming, dump off, over the middle, complete. Mark Sanchez with the connection to Sean Green. It covers 10 yards and a first down. Kevin Barnes was putting the pressure on Sanchez, who was able to get rid of it.
Watch Barnes come from the outside again. He had success earlier. That's just a great play by Sanchez. Aware of the blitz coming, fading in the pocket away from Barnes, and finding his outlet receiver, Sean Green, for the first down. Big play.
Sanchez cutting to the outside. We'll see the wildcat again. LaDainian Tomlinson taking the snap. Tomlinson cut upfield, and Washington's done a great job defending it. 5-yard gain for LaDainian Tomlinson. Redskins up by 3. We are counting down to the 5-minute mark here at FedEx Field. 2nd and 5 for the Jets. Jets at 6-5. A game behind Cincinnati in the AFC wildcard chase entering action today. Mark Sanchez, 18 of 31, 135 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Pump, Sanchez. It's Holmes! Touchdown, Jets! Mark Sanchez just dropped it in the bucket. Jets take the lead here in the 4th.
Similar play that we just saw. Remember, he tried to pump fake on the play, got away from Kevin Barnes. That time he stayed with Santonio Holmes. Holmes with a great move, the double move on the route, working against Josh Wilson, faked the slant route, then went straight down the field, and you could not ask for a better pass than what Mark Sanchez gave to Santonio Holmes.
On a rainbow delivery from Mark Sanchez, the Jets are an extra point away from a 20-16 lead. 5 plays, 51 yards. Folk tacks on the extra point. Remember the short kick by Gano and the 29-yard return by the up man Josh Baker, helping to set things up for the Jets.
4 touchdown passes last week to win the ball game against Buffalo. Here is the sluggo route, the slant and go. Just a perfect route. Josh Wilson looking, biting on the slant route, and forget about it. First touchdown pass of the afternoon, and a huge one. His 19th of the season. Watch the pump fake right there. That sold the move. Got the defensive back Wilson to bite, and it's all over after that. Great play by Sanchez and Holmes.
Perfectly executed. The separation by Holmes. And the reaction from Mark Sanchez. 4th quarter time again. Sanchez making plays. And the Jets offense crisp. They did it last week against Buffalo. They now take the lead on Washington. 20-16, just under 5 minutes to play.
And you go back to the kickoff by Graham Gano, where he actually hit the ground before he hit the ball. He was meaning to have a short kickoff to keep the ball away from Cromartie so the Jets couldn't organize and have a big kickoff return. But he hit the ball so poorly that the Jets got a good return out to midfield. That set up a lot of momentum and positive feeling for the Jets offense. And Sanchez made 2 outstanding plays, one finding Green over the middle, and then that touchdown to Holmes.
Jets trying to pull off their fourth quarter comeback this season. They did it against Dallas, San Diego, and Buffalo. Folk on the kickoff. Banks from the 3. Banks, no hole to work with, and he's brought down at the 20-yard line. Playoff picture in the AFC. Pittsburgh, the win over Cincinnati. So the Bengals fall to 7-5. The Steelers now 9-3. New England 9-3. Baltimore at 8-3. There are the Jets tied with Denver and Tennessee.
Tennessee leading in their ball game by 6 with a minute left. And Minnesota on top of Denver by 3 with 2:50 to go in the game.
1st and 10 for Washington at the 20-yard line. Shotgun, Grossman. Ricochets. Muhammad Wilkerson, the rookie out of Temple. Second and 10 for the Redskins.
Here's Wilkerson right here. He goes at about 6'4". I wonder where this ball hit. It hit him right in the face is where it hit him. That's why it went back so far. Good thing you got a face mask on or you'd have a bloody nose right now.
Grossman now 14 of 32, 161 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Pressure coming. Grossman handles it, but throws too high. Santana Moss was in the area.
And right now, we talked about Grossman being the streaky player he has always been. Apparently, it looks like he's on a bad streak after being red hot in the third quarter. Not a good time to go cold.
Grossman 4-4 as a starter this season for Washington. Got benched in favor of John Beck, who then went 0-3 in the starting role. This is now 3rd and 10. 4.5 to play. Grossman, rush coming, loses the football. Maben with the sack, and the Jets recover. Calvin Pace on the fumble recovery. Rex Grossman on the cough up. Aaron Maben continues to be a difference maker for this Jets defense.
6 sacks now since he's come to the New York Jets. This one is the biggest of the 6. Here he is on the outside. Watch the move. They say he's 240. Looks like he's a defensive back with great speed as he gets inside Jamal Brown. Gets the sack, forces the fumble, and all but seals this win for the New York Jets.
He is back in his home state from Ellicott City, Maryland. Rex Ryan's oldest son went to high school with him, Mount Hebron High School, and that meant that Rex felt he had an edge in recruiting him when he got cut by the Buffalo Bills. 1st and goal for the Jets inside the 10. Handoff to Green. Spun down after he picks up half a yard on the play. Ryan Kerrigan with the takedown. 2nd and goal.
Jets obviously are looking for a couple of things here. Number one would be a touchdown. Also trying to take some time off this clock. Already in chip shot field goal range. Rex Grossman never saw Maben. He was looking to his left all the way, trying to figure out a way to get the ball to David Anderson.
Field goal would make it a 7-point lead. A touchdown would be lights out. Sanchez sets up as a receiver. Green, Wildcat, emerging for the touchdown. The Jets making plays in the 4th quarter on both sides of the ball. And the New York Jets waving bye-bye to the Redskins fans.
Great job by the Jets with the Wildcat. Finally, it paid off. Great blocking up front. Brandon Moore and Wayne Hunter on that side. And then they added Matt Slauson on the power pull. And it's a walk-in touchdown for Sean Green, his 2nd of the day.
And a dagger. This was a battle for 55 minutes. You didn't have any idea how this one would turn out. And the Jets taking over late stages of the 4th quarter over the last minute and a half. Folk with the extra point and a 27-16 lead for the New York Jets.
Check out Matt Slauson here. He's going to pull right up through this hole, and right in behind him will get Sean Green. Wayne Hunter with a key block. You can see also as Mulligan comes over, makes a block to the inside. And the Jets capitalize on the turnover created by Aaron Maben.
So now the Redskins in a deep hole. Aaron Maben. What a pickup he has turned out to be. Rex Ryan having fun with his offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer.
Well, that's the unity of the two units. The defense led by Rex Ryan, the offense by Brian Schottenheimer. No better way to unify a team than for the defense to get a turnover and the offense to put it in the end zone.
And an 11-point lead now for the Jets, who will kick it off at the 3:42 mark of the 4th quarter. What a turn this game has taken. Washington with all 3 timeouts to work with, but it's now a 2-score lead for the Jets. Folk kicking off to Brandon Banks. They need something here. Banks Slicing through. Banks still on his feet. And finally brought down to the 45-yard line. A 41-yard return for Banks. 3:31 left on the clock.
You know, Banks, he's got to be the smallest guy in the NFL. 150 pounds if he's that. But how about the speed, the quickness, and a good return to set up the Redskins.
Jets 27, Redskins 16, 3:31 remaining. Fourth quarter here in Landover, Maryland. 1st and 10 for Washington after the touchdown from Sean Green. His second touchdown of the day on the ground, 63 yards for Green. Grossman flushed out of the pocket. Grossman throws it away. Calvin Pace, the pressure from New York. Clock stops with 3:24 remaining.
Boy, the Redskins got away with Will Montgomery being 6 yards down the field on that screen pass. He didn't know Grossman was hesitating because the Jets were all over that screen. Montgomery, a good 6 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. Got away with it.
Washington Redskins with just 2 winning seasons in their last 11 years. A loss here would bring them to 4-8 on the season. 2nd and 10. Grossman. Sideline route. Shabar Gaffney was going upfield. Grossman's pass sails out of bounds. It's 3rd and 10. Grossman is now 14 of 35 on the day, 161 yards.
And the Redskins have really struggled against this pressure defense on 3rd down by the Jets. Just 2 of 12 on the afternoon converting thirds.
Dallas leading the NFC East, 1 game better than the Giants. There's Washington at 4-7. What a disappointment it's been for Philadelphia to fall to 4-8 after the Thursday night loss in Seattle. Shotgun formation for Grossman. Washington still has 3 timeouts, but they need a 1st down. And they get it. Santana Moss with a leaping grab. It covers 11 yards. Redskins trying to hurry up here. Under 3 minutes left. Washington has it inside the Jets 45, but they trail New York 27-16. 1st down Redskins. On the move, Grossman. A dart. Incomplete. Fred Davis, the target.
Jets have done a real good job from the 1st quarter on stopping Fred Davis. He's got 5 catches for 94 yards, but this is great coverage by Donald Strickland. You could call that illegal contact beyond the 5-yard mark. You could call it. The referees won't.
So it's 2nd and 10 for Washington. (27-16), Jets in front. Long pass. Moss unable to haul it in.
That was a beautiful pass right down the middle. Moss, if he makes the catch, he may go all the way to the end zone. Just off his fingertips as he gets behind Kyle Wilson there. But that catch is a difference maker if he makes it.
Jets with a forced fumble that gave them the football here in the 4th quarter late. They turned it into 7 points on a Sean Green Wildcat touchdown. 27-16, New York in front. 3rd and 10 for Washington. Play clock down to 1. Grossman in the pocket. Throws underneath. And makes the connection with Dante Stallworth, the veteran. That's 14 yards and a 1st down.
You know, the Redskins need 11 points. They need a field goal at some point. Touchdown and a 2-point conversion. As Stallworth makes his first catch of the day against Rivas. Rivas playing conservative, allowing for that catch. But at some point, if Redskins don't get in the end zone in the next 2 plays, they ought to be thinking about just kicking a field goal.
Redskins have called one of their 3 remaining timeouts. 2:24 mark here in the 4th. Jets at 6-5. Cincinnati has already fallen to Pittsburgh, so what was already a tight wild card race gets a little tighter depending on the result here. First down for Washington at the Jets' 30-yard line. 11-point lead for the Jets. Here comes the rush. Grossman slips a pass to Davis. And Calvin Pace over there as Eric Smith got spun around on the play. And Washington has used another timeout.
Yeah, this is what the Jets did here to get this lead. Beautiful out or slant go route by Santonio Holmes for the touchdown. Then the hit by Aaron Maben, recovered by Calvin Pace. And it was a wildcat. Direct snap to Sean Green for the touchdown. Solid performance by Mark Sanchez this afternoon. 19 of 32, 165 yards. That touchdown, no interceptions. And he was not sacked one time today against this outstanding pass rushing team of the Redskins.
Redskins have one timeout left. 2nd and 5 for Washington. Grossman. Too far. Throws it out of the end zone. Dante Stallworth, the Redskins receiver, downfield. And now it's 3rd down.
But I like that idea better than throwing the short pass to Davis over the middle. I mean, take your shots in the end zone. If you don't get them, you could still need that field goal.
They need the touchdown, 2-point conversion, and the field goal in this 11-point game. 2:09 left.
That is a tough trifecta for sure. I wouldn't throw it in that guy's direction. I would leave Rivas alone.
Now, this is a Jets team that did allow Denver to drive 95 yards to win the game a couple of weeks ago. Tebow, the 20-yard touchdown. Grossman fires, incomplete. Santana Moss, coverage there from Kyle Wilson, and now it's 4th down. Field goal unit will come on. That sidearm delivery by Rex Grossman. Santana Moss had a couple of balls on his fingertips during this possession. This will be a 43-yard attempt from Graham Gano. This is a must-make for the Redskins. From 43 yards away, and Gano gets it to go. We hit the 2-minute warning. It's a one-possession game. Anything can still happen here at FedEx Field. We're coming right back. Mike Shanahan's team has cut it to 8 with 1:59 to go in the 4th quarter. And now Washington will try the onside kick with Graham Gano. Gano, some trickery, bounces it high, Hans team is out there, flag down. Cromartie got tripped up. Really, in that situation, you just want to go down. There's no reason to be a hero.
Redskins were offsides anyway. All that trickery tricked themselves. Absolutely be declined. Jets
Illegal
ball.
formation. Number 97 looped and was not at the 30-yard line. At the ready for play. That 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run.
So Washington just one timeout left, 1:55 to play. And the Jets have the football in Redskins territory.
Yeah, this ball goes directly to Cromartie. Cromartie, outstanding athlete, 6'2". He's thinking touchdown right here, but you're right, Ian. Should be thinking just going down.
Washington would have to stop the Jets 3 and out, and they could get the ball back if the Jets were unable to kick a field goal with about 25 seconds left. Jets chant breaking out here at FedEx Field. Jets leading 27-19, but it's not over yet. 1:55 to play. Sean Green in the backfield. Give is to Green. Green. How about that? Sean Green takes it the distance. Touchdown Jets. 25 yards, his third of the day.
And give Sanchez a lot of credit because he changed the play at the line of scrimmage. He brought his fullback, John Connor, back to his traditional fullback spot, called the audible, saw what he liked on the right side. Watch him turn around here and tell Connor to get over here and watch where the Jets run the ball, right behind their big fullback. And it's another walk-in touchdown for Sean Green. Poor tackling on that side. Adam Carricker had a shot, didn't take it.
Sean Green slithers through that hole and turns it upfield for 25 yards, and the Jets with a 34-19 lead. Let's go to New York right now. JB and Boomer.
All right, Broncos get it done.
It is Matt Prater right here, 23-yard field goal attempt to win the game. It's good. Tim Tebow, 10 of 14, 202 yards through the air, and 2 touchdown passes as this improbable run for John Fox and the Broncos continues.
Dan Marino said it earlier, I'm a believer. Back to our guys.
Well, guys, we saw it in person last week in San Diego. Overtime there when the Broncos got a big run from McGahee, and they turned that into a win, and they're now 6-1 since Tebow took over as the starting quarterback.
And I don't know what all the fuss is about and all the conversation about, you know, this is not a traditional NFL quarterback. This isn't the way you're supposed to do it. I thought you're supposed to win games.
Yep.
And he's a winner, and he continues to win. And he's just a delightful guy to be around, and you just couldn't be happier for him. He's not doesn't have a phony bone in his body, and he just continues to win.
Let me spell that. Oh, yeah, got it. Win.
Win, win, win.
And that's what the Jets are going to do here in Landover, Maryland. Get a win against Washington. Scoring had come at a premium until the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter for the Jets. Nick Folk kicking off to Brandon Banks. From the 2. And Banks brought down short of the 20-yard line by Nick Ballore on special teams. Coming up, Subway postgame show, JB and company. Latest NFL scores and highlights. That's all coming up on the Subway postgame show. Sean Green came in with 2 rushing touchdowns on the season. He's got 3 on the day.
And you just can't say enough about this offensive line and the way they performed today. Getting Green in the end zone those 3 times. They rushed for 102 yards, passed for 165. Not a whole lot of total yardage, but a very clean game by that offensive line, especially when you look at Mark Sanchez's jersey.
Came in averaging 100 yards on the ground as Grossman throws to Santana Moss underneath. The Jets are comfortable with that. Washington has 1 timeout to work with, 1.5 minutes to play.
The Jets talked about being in a playoff scenario here, having to win each game. Always take them one at a time, and you've got to be happy with this effort today.
And they performed like it. Pressure moments in the fourth quarter, just like a week ago. Too high for Fred Davis. AFC playoff picture, up-to-date numbers. New England, Houston, Pittsburgh, all at 9-3. Denver is 7-5. Baltimore at 8-3. Cincinnati drops back to 7-5, and the Jets are just over a minute away from going to 7-5 on the season, joining Tennessee and Oakland. Running play. Halou. And caught from behind by Eric Smith. 12-yard gain for Roy Halou. And Washington uses a timeout here. Final timeout for the Redskins. Here's what's coming up for the Jets. Home for Kansas City next week. Then trip down the turnpike to Philadelphia. Home game, quote unquote, against the Giants. And then at Miami to wrap up the regular season on New Year's Day.
Yeah, so travel is not going to be a problem, a deterrent for the Jets as they look look ahead, I'm anxious to see the reaction that the Jet fans will give Mark Sanchez and the Jets next week at Kansas City, as we'll be there against Kansas City at the Meadowlands.
Roy Halou with that 12-yard run just cracked 100 on the day. Back-to-back 100-yard rushing games for Halou, trying to get him involved in the passing game. And Halou's got a blocker in front of him. Roy Halou, the acceleration to the 40-yard line of New York. That's 26 yards on the catch and run. Maurice Hurt, the rookie left guard out of Florida, was out there creating space for Halou. Clock is rolling now, down to 40 seconds to play. Grossman, deep ball, knocked up in the air, intercepted. Kyle Wilson. So Grossman had avoided the interceptions all day. Donald Strickland with the tip, and that will seal it for the Jets.
Just trying to make a play is Rex Grossman, trying to get it one more time to Fred Davis. And that play had no chance at all. Good reaction by Wilson to locate this ball after it was knocked up in the air by Strickland.
14 straight games with a turnover for Rex Grossman. And that's it. Sanchez takes a knee. The Jets with another fourth quarter come from behind win. 34-19 the final. Jets get the victory over Washington. Jets improve to 7-5. Redskins fall to 4-8. An important win in December for Rex Ryan and company. And they exploded in the fourth quarter, late stages of the fourth quarter, to get the W. Final score, Jets 34, Washington 19. Subway postgame show is coming up. For Dan Fouts, our entire CBS crew, this is Ian Eagle. So long from Landover. JB coming up after this.